please, body, restore yourself, and I'm helping you. And then once you've done that as much as you feel good with, you just let that limb sit to the side, and you notice you're warm from all that leaning over. So this is good, you know, it's bringing heat to the body. Pressing on the abdomen is a way of activating your solar plexus and your organs of digestion. So, you know, it's all really good. And this remains just one more limb to do for our joints and glands today. So let's do the left leg, massaging from the distal to the proximal, or that's a fancy way of saying from the parts of the body that are far away from the center, like your knee, back towards your hip, which is, of course, closer to your torso. So you're always going from the distant parts of your body to the close parts of your body when you do this type of lymphatic massage. And get to the hamstring as well. You can use your fist there. And remember how we did the knee? Let's massage the knee again. I like to see if I can pick up the skin a little bit above the kneecap and with my thumb and index fingers and kind of move it around, outline my kneecap, the patella, and then remember that area that's just above the knee and on your thigh there, and how we used our elbow. You could try that this side, same thing. You could rest your head if you like in your hand and just move the elbow over this tendinous part of the area. And the elbow is, you know, we think of the elbow as being pretty pointy, but right now you can tell that it's kind of actually broad enough that it's not too pointy. So it's kind of perfect for this, and the dimension and everything that it is. So once you've used your elbow, if you're using it, then transition and massage the joint capsule. I like to pick up the leg just to really feel where the actual joint is between the lower leg bones and my femur bone or my thigh bone. And I like to stick my fingertips into that little valley. I mean, you can't really stick your fingers into the joint, of course. That would be really bad if there was that much space. But you can feel that area there, and that's called the joint capsule. And it's this connective tissue which generally has to be pretty tough, and it generally doesn't really have that many capillaries in it, which is why joints tend to heal pretty slowly. So by doing this kind of massage, we deliberately increase the circulation there. And in many cases, doing this regularly over years actually causes a transformation of old scar tissue. That is something that's really amazing, you know, to see that it actually, your body will respond to that kind of therapy, because, you know, scar tissue actually, in many cases, creates like a blockage, you know, towards movement. It protects you, and it's like saying, don't move this, so, you know, yeah. So, okay, all right, and then sitting tall, just to lengthen the spine, we take a little rotation towards that left leg so that we can fold forward over the hip and lay the left abdomen down on the thigh, so you can reach down to your extremities, wherever that means for you. It might be your foot, it might be your lower leg or your ankle. And you begin to massage here. And again, we involve ourselves in a curious exploration. We feel the tissue of our body there. We notice the changes in temperature, the quality of the skin, variously referred to as, sometimes we say it feels kind of papery, or maybe we say it feels kind of thin, or maybe thick, or jello-y, or, you know, doughy, strong, pliable, or not so pliable. And then once we've massaged the foot and the ankle and the shin bones, being aware of the two bones that make up that lower leg, done all of that as much as you like, you finish by sweeping the entire limb from the toes up past the ankle, the lower leg, the knee, upper leg, and the hip. Just joining it all together with these powerful sweeps of both hands. And you take a different route each time as you do this, kind of like putting on a big pair of stockings. And you just do it until you say, okay, I think that was good. I think that was enough. And you let it sit aside and you notice that you've created a lot of heat. And this is a good moment. It certainly is. We are at the end of class today. And this is our Monday joints and glands class where we really focus on something called Abhyaṅga, the Abhyaṅga practice, or the self-massage practice. So let us finish as we began, sitting as tall as possible. Without exceeding our capacity. That is the most important instruction, is to really stick up for ourselves and to set aside as much as possible all ideas about how we should be or how we aren't. And instead, invite the breath to flow smoothly and normally and naturally through the nostrils, if at all possible. As smoothly as possible without stops and starts. And in this way, our body resembles a set of clothing. Somewhat of a vessel or a container for the breath. And we take these moments to really feel into the more subtle essence of the breath. Sahana Sahana Bhunatu Sahavirya Kāraṇa Tejasvina Aditamastu Ma Vidvishavai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Remember, you are not this body, you are not these senses, you are not this mind, but you are a wave of beauty and bliss, a child of eternity. And if you like, you may join me in finishing the class in a traditional pattern with our palms together in front of the heart, and we say, in Sanskrit, we say namaste, which means not mine. And it means with all the love in the heart, all the thought in the head, and all the power of action in the hands. We say, not mine. Namaste. Namaste. And I thank you so much for coming today and participating.